In today's biased news, Prigozhin killed in a suspicious plane crash, Ukraine announces plans for the de-Russification of Crimea, and Donald Trump gets his picture taken. One of the principal leaders of the Wagner paramilitary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, is believed to be dead following a plane crash carrying him and several close associates. Russian President Putin has given his condolences to the family, as suspicion mounts around the development. A figure disliked by the military brass in Russia, Prigozhin had made a name for himself in the Ukraine conflict. Through savvy telegram channel lines and a bombastic personality, he became a household name among the military-age segments of Russian society. Prigozhin, who led a theatrical mutiny just 2 months prior, boarded a jet flying from Moscow to St. Petersburg on Wednesday. Shortly thereafter, the plane crashed, about halfway to St. Petersburg. U.S. officials have stated that the plane crash had been artificial and caused by surface-to-air missiles originating from within Russia. No evidence has been uncovered supporting the claim thus far, and Russian authorities are investigating the crash. The crash site was attended to by emergency services, which retrieved the bodies of 10 people on the plane. Reuters relayed statements claiming that bombs on the plane could have been the culprit. Regardless of who did it or whether it truly was an accident, the interests of the vast majority of all post-Soviet populations are not met in petty power politics and squabbles between the military and paramilitary organizations. The Russian and Ukrainian people need directed economic development, employment opportunities, and actual workers' organizations that can politically administer the will of their constituents. Without this, they remain at the mercy of post-Soviet capitalist economies and the shock doctrine policies that brought them into being. Moving to the other side of the conflict, Ukraine's Navy and military intelligence conducted a special operation in which troops landed in Crimea. The brief video accompanying Ukraine's statement showed a motorboat moving in darkness near the coastline. The landing occurred on Crimea's western tip, and seems to show Ukrainian soldiers putting a flag on a house. The timing coincided with Ukraine's Independence Day. This current incursion is likely a PR move to boost morale for the citizenry and troops, seeing how Crimea is the prime symbol of Russia's presence in the region. Russia's defense ministry, on the other hand, reported that its air defense forces intercepted and destroyed a large-scale drone attack launched from Ukraine on the Crimean Peninsula. The attack was part of increased hostilities. The defense ministry stated that 9 drones were shot down, while 33 others were neutralized using electronic warfare and crashed before reaching their targets. Ukraine has expressed intentions to regain Crimea, with the Ukrainian presidential aide recently coming out and stating that once taken, Crimea would be totally de-Russified. Language, culture, and anything Russian would be forbidden, and Russian passport carriers would be, quote, legally arrested as traitors. The West and Ukraine see Crimea as being annexed, while Russia states that the 2014 referendum was legitimate and in line with people's right to self-determination. Donald Trump's mugshot was released following his booking in Atlanta on multiple felony charges tied to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. The mugshot displays Trump glaring at the camera, an expression he's likely been practicing for months. He posted it on his social media platforms, including Truth Social and Twitter. Despite the legal challenges, Trump's popularity within the Republican Party has grown, with strong polling numbers for his potential 2024 White House bid. Trump spent about 20 minutes in jail before returning to his golf club in New Jersey. He continues to assert that the charges against him are politically motivated. He's the first former U.S. president to face criminal charges, but these cases appear to have bolstered his standing among his supporters. In a move to turn the situation to his advantage, Trump posted the mugshot on social media, along with a message defending his actions and asking for donations. This marks his return to Twitter, which had previously banned his account. The indictment levels 13 felony counts against Trump, including racketeering, for pressuring state officials to reverse his election loss. Supporters gathered outside the jail, including Georgia U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump's opponents and supporters alike are expected to widely circulate the mugshot. The trial date for Trump's co-defendants has been set for October, but no date has been proposed for Trump himself. All we can say for certain is that Trump is going to make a killing selling shirts with that mugshot. And in positive news of the day, Ecuadorians voted against oil drilling in the protected Yasuni National Park in the Amazon. The referendum showed 60% against drilling, safeguarding the park and its indigenous communities. The decision blocks drilling in the oil fields along the park's edge, leaving around 726 million barrels of oil untapped and protecting the local environment. This success follows a decade of activism, and was included in the presidential election ballot. Indigenous leaders celebrated the victory, highlighting the triumph over oil interests and politics. That's all for today. We'll be back on Monday with more news. If you'd like to see longer episodes with more in-depth analysis, consider becoming a patron so we can grow and expand.